Hi, folks. Thanks for joining Junction City today. I'm your host, Craig Bielick, right here. And today, in our beautiful studio, we are going to talk about addiction and treatment for those who may be in your life that have addiction. My guest is Galen Romero. Hi, Galen.
Hi, Craig. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you here. Galen is a therapist at Ogden Regional Medical Center's Addiction Treatment Center, also known as the ACT, Alcohol Chemical Treatment Center, right?
Yep.
Right. How long have you been doing this, Galen?
I've been with Ogden Regional now since they opened up the residential program back in January.
Okay.
But I've been doing mental health and addiction for about 7 or 8 years.
Right. You've had some experience in that. How has it changed in the last 5 or 6 years? I mean, or has it changed? I shouldn't make the assumption that it's changed, but how has it changed?
I think there's certain aspects have changed. I think people are buying into the fact that it is a disease and not so much of a choice.
Right.
So that's been helpful.
Well, let's explore that for a moment, because I think that traditionally thinking for a long time, it's been if someone has an addiction, they are a weak person, they are making this choice to live a terrible life, and why should you even bother? I mean, right? But you think that's changing?
I think that's
first off, is that
changing.
accurate? That's not accurate.
I think that's accurate. That was the viewpoint back in the day, a while ago, even up maybe 5 or 10 years ago. Right. I mean, having addiction as a disease is rather new as far as the belief that it's going has been pushed that way for maybe the last 10 years. It's really been pushed as there is a disease model that fits with addiction. I think the best example of that is a documentary called Pleasure Unwoven. It really helps to understand how the brain works with addiction, how the brain is actually hijacked and using becomes the main priority rather than taking care of yourself and other things. Right, right.
You've seen it firsthand.
Yes, I have.
For a long time, yes. I take it. And before we go much further, I'd like to throw a phone number up on the screen right now. If you have questions about addiction, if you feel like you have someone in your life that needs help, please call this phone number, 801-479-2250. That's the number for Ogden Regional's ACT program. Alcohol, chemical addiction, can handle pretty much all of it, right?
Pretty much, yes.
So what is the balance, in your opinion, between between substance use, let's put it that way, and addiction? Where's the line? Let's say that I'm a guy that likes to drink beer. At what point am I addicted, and what point do I need help?
So looking at the definition of addiction, it is the use of a substance more frequently needed and increased tolerance to it. So maybe when you first started drinking, you needed 6 beers to get a good buzz going, and then
when I first started drinking, no, usually like a thimble cap, something like that. Yeah.
People, but then as you continue to drink, that becomes more. Your tolerance is built up. So instead of 6 beers, you drink 12 beers.
Yeah.
And you're drunk. Or that's what you need. And then the other part is your body becomes addicted to it. And it starts having withdrawal symptoms if you don't use the alcohol.
Right.
So you get shaky. You can possibly have seizures, all kinds of different symptoms related to alcohol withdrawal.
Right. And substances also.
Yes, substances also.
Obviously the opioid epidemic is big right now on everybody's mind and all that. But and the ACT offers several different treatment programs, but you actually are specializing in the residential treatment. Is that correct?
Yes, that's where I work at, is the residential program.
So what does that mean? What's residential? Does that mean that, I don't know, do you stay there, or how does that work?
Usually it's paid for by insurance. We also take private pay. Some people don't have insurance, so they pay out of pocket to us. But the idea is that you stay in a place where you can't use your substance of choice for up to 28 to 30 days. You sleep there, you eat there. You can have visitors come in and visit with you. We do that on Sundays. So that's the main thing, is that you are physically there 24 hours a day for about a month or so.
And you're receiving counseling and training because, I mean, the physical withdrawal from the substance is one thing, but you've also got to deal with what's going on in your brain and what's going on in your life.
And that's where we come in. We look at behavioral changes and thought changes. So, I mean, drinking, we'll take drinking for an example. It's easy to stop drinking. I mean, you can literally just stop drinking, but what do you do after that? Because now you've got cravings. You've got thoughts of perhaps I'm worthless, I'm hopeless, I need a drink. You know, a life event happens that really puts a lot of stress on you, and you've taught yourself that if you drink or use some other substance, you can take care of it that way.
Right.
So that's where that
lifestyle change.
Yeah.
Lifestyle change. So is the residential program then, is it 30 days or are there parts of that program that are longer if you need it?
So it can be longer if you pay out of pocket for it to be longer, or if the insurance approves it longer.
Okay.
Right now, insurance is approving 30 days for us. That's what we're seeing an average of, 30 days.
How successful are these kind of treatment programs? I mean, that's such a tricky question. I know I've thrown you a curveball, but I think that the people out there watching right now, they want to know, like, do I have a shot at it? If I go into this program, am I going to make it? And I know there's no guarantees or anything like that, but in your experience, does it work?
You know, it works if you work the program, and I know people hear that all the time. You got to work the program. That means you got to focus on recovery, especially in early recovery, the first year. You have to be very mindful of what you're doing and making sure you're taking care of triggers and cravings. As far as how successful it is, that really depends on how much work you put into it.
Right.
You know, they say that at least 7 times before somebody actually gets it.
Okay.
That might be correct. I don't know.
Well, it's interesting
really
because,
hard to say.
You know, not mentioning any names or anything, I grew up in this area, and a friend of mine from high school, actually several friends, I have friends that have gone through this program, and one of them has a 36-year chip. Yeah. That's what you want to call it, 36 Absolutely. Years of sobriety from a very, very difficult problem. So it can be done.
It absolutely can be. I mean, even some of the people that work with us, they're in sobriety themselves, so they understand what it is like to be in recovery. Right. So they give that firsthand experience, and they have 30-plus years in recovery themselves.
Right, right. What's the one myth that you'd like to dispel about addiction, if you haven't already? What's the thing that people always think and always say, and you always go, wait a minute, baloney?
That they're weak.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think people who are addicted to any substances are weak. I think they just don't know how to handle the situations without the substance.
Right.
So, you know, it's like raising kids. We weren't given a pamphlet or a manual to raise kids. We do the best we can with what we have. And if somebody grows up in a home that doesn't have a lot of boundaries or expectations and allows the kids to maybe drink with mom and dad, well, they kind of get hooked on that. Mm-hmm. And then they continue to do that through their adult life, and it becomes a problem.
It can start that way. Starts out easy, doesn't it?
It absolutely
does.
One,
I don't think anyone starts out to be an addict. Well, they just, you know, it's fun and everybody's doing it, and hey, you know, and then next thing you know, they've got a problem.
Yeah, I yet have to meet anybody that woke up and said, hey, I'm going to be an addict today.
Oh, you know? Yeah, really. Yeah, that's my. Everybody's got to go have a goal, and that one's mine. Yeah.
And in the same hand, no addict wakes up and says, "Hey, I'm going to go into recovery today."
Right.
Life events have to happen to get them motivated to get into recovery. You know, they have to have some family loss, some significant event that tells them, "I have a problem and I need help. I can't do it on my own." Right. They have to experience that. We get people in all the time that say, you know, I came in on my own. Well, really look at that. What is driving you in? What is that motivation? Was it your spouse saying that if you don't get help, I'm going to leave you? Was it your kids finally looking at you and says, Dad, you need to get help, a family? Or maybe you're drinking at work and you're getting written up for it. You got a couple of DUIs. Things happen to make you realize that you need the help.
Right.
And that's where you take your future by the horns and say, I'm going to go get help.
Yeah.
And it's scary. People come in scared. They don't know what to do.
Right.
You know, and a lot of times in recovery, people feel emotions that they haven't felt for a long time. So we help them understand that. We process their emotions. We work through it. We stay away from shaming. We're not a punitive program. We want people to get help and be successful in life.
This is a great story. And there's more to tell. And if you folks out there are watching it right now and you're thinking, maybe I need help, maybe my brother needs help, maybe my son, maybe my mom, something like that. A good way to find out is call this number, 801-479-2250. Of course, there's always a free intake analysis where they can sit down with you, talk about your problem. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're not to that point yet, or maybe you just need some good advice or some good steerage, or maybe you need a whole lot more. And that's where guys like Galen Romero come in. My guest, Galen Romero, Ogden Regional Medical Center's Alcohol and Chemical Treatment Center, ACT. Galen, thank you so much. This is interesting to me. I learned a lot.
Good. I'm glad. I hope I was helpful to somebody out there. Even if it was just one person that comes in and talks to us, please come in. We can definitely help you.
Come talk to Galen. And talk to him about anything, right?
Yeah.
You've heard it all.
I've heard it all. I've seen quite a bit.
He's heard it all. He's heard it all. And you have too, because you've watched Junction City Today with your host, Craig Bielik, and Galen Romero from the ACT. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you next time.